Hi, I'm Norman A. Hood, financial advisor and host of the Exit Plan Show. I interview America's top advisors to help business owners enjoy more freedom, grow companies faster, transition ownership seamlessly, and create lasting legacies. Today's guest is Rod Ammons. He's with Butler Snow Advisory Services. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Norman. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, nice to meet you. We've talked on the phone and by email. That's really good to get to know you more.
Great.
Do this interview. We're going to start out and just have you tell our audience a little bit about your background and then your career path up until now.
Okay, Norman. Thanks for the invite, and thanks for allowing me to share some of my expertise in the area of management consultant, investment banking, as my history, my background. Basically, I'm a managing director with Butler Snow Advisory Services. We are a wholly owned subsidiary of Butler Snow Law Firm. Okay. And our role is the law firm does advisory work and legal work for clients, and our team tends to focus on corporate finance activities. Okay. So we do everything from basic strategic advisory services to exit planning and succession planning for business owners. Now, when you ask about my background and how I ended up as an investment banker and a management consultant, my background, I took the non-traditional path, if there is a non-traditional path. As a young man or a kid, I always had aspirations of being a fighter pilot. I had some family members that were pilots and some friends and family that were in the profession. So my goal was I wanted to fly as a kid, pointing those airplanes that drop bombs and shot bullets. So I started off on that pursuit as a young kid, and from the age of about 9, I learned about what it took to become a professional pilot. Later on, went to college, got a degree in computer science because at the time I was entering college, PCs were really becoming hot, and I felt like to become a better pilot, I would need to understand how computers work, and eventually that proved to be true because the airplane that I flew in the United States Marine Corps was basically computer driven. I was just a voting member in what the airplane did, so it was great having that background. I spent 10 years as an officer and aviator in the United States Marine Corps, and after I finished flying in the Marine Corps, one of the things I had the opportunity to do is look around the landscape and decide what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. So I had the unique experience of one of my very good friends was a sports agent, and he had gotten out of the Marine Corps and started representing some athletes, and at the time one of his clients was a well-known professional football player that was entering the NASCAR racing ranks as a team owner.
Interesting.
The football player looked to, and it was Bruce Smith of the Buffalo Bills, was looking to form a race team to start in NASCAR because NASCAR had a big diversity push. They wanted minority team owners, they wanted minority crewmen, they wanted minority drivers. So my friend felt like I would be a good fit to drive for that team. So I went and auditioned as a driver for them. I won the ride, won the opportunity. So I spent the next 3 or 4 years in NASCAR, trying to become a professional driver, and spent a great time, met a lot of great contacts, and eventually that ran its course because of the .com bubble. A lot of teams lost sponsorship, lost financing. What it did put in my mouth was a taste for business services, business transactions, strategic advisory, because as a driver, not only was I involved in the business side of the race team, but I was also involved in the driving side. And as much acumen as it took to steer that car around a racetrack at 190, 200 miles an hour, it took the same amount of acumen to steer through the business world, because we were meeting with multinational corporations about sponsorship. There was always licensing agreements that we were negotiating. We were always trying to find funding, not only to fund the racing operations, but our business operations, because as it may not be very well known, but most race teams make more money from licensing than they do actually on the track. So you're as much a business person as you are a driver. And then again, I looked around the landscape, and some of my friends that had gotten out of the military, or the ones that were living the type of lifestyle that I envisioned for myself post-military, were financial services guys. So I thought, being the analytical guy that I am, is how do I marry this business service skills, this sales and marketing, this analytical financial management expertise with the financial services world. And naturally, investment banking was a great opportunity. Figured out I need to go back to business school. I went to Thunderbird School of Global Management for my MBA in global finance. And out of there, I was recruited by Novartis Pharmaceuticals to work in their specialty medicines division. And again, what I did was handle business contracts, outsourcing, insourcing, licensing of technologies and things of that nature. And after that point, I had the opportunity to join a local regional investment banking firm here in Memphis, Tennessee market, which they were standing up their corporate finance group. So I was one of the members, part of that inaugural corporate finance group, spent a number of years with them, joined another larger middle market investment banking group out of DC, spent a number of years with them, getting more experience in mergers and acquisitions, doing debt placements, as well as acting as a strategic advisor. And I joined Butler Snow Advisory Services just recently because their team had some turnover, and there was some opportunity for me to join a local firm, and they needed someone on the team that had transactional experience. Therefore, when I say non-traditional, I don't think anybody could have crafted the path that I ended up to get here.
That's very interesting. Actually, it's kind of fascinating, really.
Right. Which, again, that's one of the stories when, I tend to meet with clients about, strategic advisory work. They want to know about the flying and the race car driving, because most of these guys have spent their lives, building their businesses, and they know their businesses very well. So they hadn't had an opportunity to really venture out and experience some of those other, one-off opportunities.
Yeah, we could do a whole interview on this in the Marine Corps.
Exactly.
How do the people that know you the best, how do you think they describe you personally?
The ones that know me the best would say hardworking and smart. And I've always thought that was an accelerator to success. If you have a good work ethic and you're work smart, then your successes are accelerated and at a much higher level. And I would also say that my friends and family and my clients would say that one of the mottos I tried to use is, hey, I give you a swan lifestyle. My goal is to give you a swan lifestyle, and that means to sleep well at night. So good hands and responsible will help people sleep well at night.
Okay. What do you think differentiates Butler Snow Advisory Services from some of the others in this area?
Well, I think the thing that differentiates Butler Snow Advisory Services from a lot of the other firms that are doing similar services is, one, we have a resource of over 300 attorneys that are involved in all sorts of transactions and advisory work on the legal side throughout the Mid-South, in the middle market and smaller, as well as some multinational top 100, top 50 companies. So we have this huge resource of intellectual talent and organic talent that we can call on to offer advice to the clients that we typically are going to that we're going to source. And these are lower middle market to middle market companies who are single manager managed or small management teams that get the benefit of having a large team join them and assist them in their strategic goals.
Okay. And in your role at Butler Snow, is there any one thing you like to do more than anything else?
I guess the thing that I really like doing more than anything else is the variety of transactions that we see in the lower middle market. Right now I'm working on transactions, everything from an evolutionary healthcare IT technology that's going to disrupt the revenue cycle management business in healthcare, to helping a small management team buy an agricultural business.
Oh, okay.
So there's a diverse level of experience, although though I'm not as well versed on the agribusiness, but that lends itself to our law firm and our team having diverse experiences that I can bring in people as necessary to assist me in transactions as they go along.
Okay. Last question.
Sure.
Business owners, you heard in the intro the 4 things we try to do: help business owners enjoy more freedom, grow
Right.
companies faster, transition ownership,
Right.
and then also create a lasting legacy, which sometimes involves helping them redefine their purpose in life
Okay.
if they don't already have a purpose in mind after work.
Sure.
Based on your experience working with business owners, if you could give them one tip in any of those 4 areas, what do you think the tip would be?
I would say find quality, credible advisors from day one.
Okay.
You know, and normally advisors, I'll tell you, most guys put up their moniker as, you know, we charge X number of dollars per hour, and typically if a guy or young lady or person is working in this industry, they're not just in it for the money, and they tend to want to help people. Therefore, you can find business advice from credible advisors from day one to help you strategically plan for the next level, because sometimes we find that business owners have made irreversible mistakes in the
Right.
early stages, and it's difficult to unwind some of those relationships. And if you're getting that advice from the beginning, then it makes it a lot smoother, and over the long term becomes a lot less costly.
Okay, good. Great tip. Good
Thank you,
interview.
Norman. Great.
That was Rode Ammons. He's with Butler Snow Advisory Services here in Memphis, Tennessee. For more information about Rode and his firm, please check out the show notes for this episode on our website.